throughout the regular season, but now, and effectively a World Finals, they find themselves in a lower bracket elimination match. One of these two teams is going to be going away after this Game 3. Question is, who's going to be stepping up when we need it most? Avery, when you go to this Game 3, who are you looking at when it comes to the players on both sides? Who is going to be stepping up? Who needs to step it up more? Who's going to be winning this Game 3?
I mean, take your pick, right? It could be any of these players, honestly. I feel like a lot of pressure for me, though, is on 33 in this bat, because I feel like the last time I watched them pick this off-lane Bat Rider form, it did not pan out nearly as well as they wanted to. And that puts you in a situation where all of a sudden, this last pick hero that's supposed to like throw the curveball in the draft, put your Brood to carry, give you this good matchup versus Darkseer, put yourself in a position where your Agi carry isn't getting, your universal hero isn't getting wall abused. It puts a lot of weight on his shoulders. And I think off-lane Bat has also been fairly weak this patch unless it has a very good lane. So I'm looking for 33 with some interesting lane mechanics as well as a Spirit Breaker to really control the map for Tundra and push them to the late game, because I do think if this game goes ultra late, like 60 minutes plus, and everybody is very farmed, it gets weird for gaming, because the Queen of Pain, the Bat, and the Breaker are suddenly going to start kiting you out in fights, and this Dusa can get poked around. It's not as straightforward as I think. It's just Dusa automatically wins this late game here. I still have a lot of faith in my Spirit Breaker during this meta.
That hero, we both have seen this hero have a lot of success, and it looks good. Why don't we see it all the time then? If every single time we spot it, it's just like, oh man, this hero is so impactful. It's able to scale well. We watched it earlier with with Liquid and Gaimin Gladiators. Boxy played a great Spirit Breaker game.
Yeah, he just won that game straight up for him.
Yeah. I
think it's a hero that a lot of the 4 players of this tournament are prioritizing the ranged 4s that are just stronger on the lane.
It's a hero that's susceptible level 1, which is where it's going to give up the first blood to Celery.
This glimpse is going to be deep.
Oh yeah. Dyrachyo may not have much mana to work with, but he's got enough to kill 33.
He didn't want the range creep. That's interesting from 33. Already this offlane Bat Rider is not working out too hot as the level 1 gets heavily abused here. You were asking why the Breaker, we don't see much of it. This is one of the reasons. It doesn't allow you to pick a crazy amount of offlaners and get out of the lane in a good spot. However, in the mid game is where it strikes, right? So you're okay being a little bit behind with the Breaker if you can make up for it later on. You just need some good bashes and you're back.
A little bit of RNG goes a long way. You've always said maybe luck is the most important skill in Dota.
I think people should train it more. They're sleeping on it. Snaking's just fighting here with a grenade. Yeah, this is so aggressive for level 1. He knows Dyrachyo has no mana here.
Yeah, he's trying to zone him out while 33. Oh, the charge in. If he gets a bash, oh, he got it right on time.
I keep telling you, man. I keep telling you. Like, why would you spend your time trying to get good at Dota when you can just go find a leprechaun or something and get luckier? Yeah, just work on the luck, man. It pays off every time.
Now, of course, there was a little bit of skill to that factor in the fact Snaking knew he had swung like 4 or 5 times there without a bash, so his chances of getting a bash first hit off that charge was probably pretty high.
He might have also just been dead to like some flame break follow-up or whatever. It's just a good trade by Snake. Nice heads up play with the blood grenade. Also forcing the action when the Medusa has no mana to contribute to Snake. That was a big factor here. So taking advantage of the fact that it cost Gaimin a lot to get the early kills, they will strike back, put themselves right back in a pretty decent position. And of course, this mid matchup is going to be favored for the Queen of Pain here. There's no way around it. You are just going to dagger spam the hell out of Quinn here. Level 2 daggers where this really starts to heat up. There's a gank potential with the Breaker charging in as well. It's kind of a hard hero for Pango to deal with when he's this low. So that's an option for Tundra. And of course, the safe lane going to be pretty independent with this Brood. This matchup is just great for him versus the Darkseer, especially when you're getting Lotuses on top of it. Another little poke and an aggressive move, and the bashes keep flowing here.
So back on his
taking some tower shots.
A lot of damage on his way out of here. He has the Lotus, so he's no threat of dying just yet. But it is another fight where Tundra are kind of pushing back against that carry. And I imagine this Deuce has missed a significant amount of CS because of that. 8-2, despite the early double kill they had.
Tundra putting some good pressure on the lanes here. I was really impressed with their early game last time. Even though they weren't ahead in that early game, I think they played it extremely well, given how difficult those lanes were to execute. And here they're off to a pretty decent start. Again, you kind of want a lot of levels on your supports, so if you can pick up some kills along the way, you're going to be super happy Water Rune stolen by 9 is going to keep the regen pressure on Quinn, and the charge is going to come through to secure the other one.
Yeah, and he's got to blink up so he can go for that Water Rune pretty efficiently too. So this is a big win. And wins that Tundra probably needs. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. A laning phase win is so important for Tundra, but they are going to lose their safe lane carry. Skeeter, the Broodmother, dies, and it looks like AUI is going to be run down right next to him. The rotation from Celery pays off big time as they put more pressure on the side lanes instead of mid.
Very nice gate rotation from Celery. He wasn't doing much bottom here. The charge left the lane solo as well. Quinn is getting pummeled.
Yeah, they're going to TP in, trying to save him. The stick might just bail him out, and the glimpse is... Oh, it's barely in range. They're going to hit him with the cookie immediately afterwards. Big turnaround.
Supports showing up really big in this early game for Gaimin. Salvaging this Pango lane at least a little bit, although Quinn has to walk the base and doesn't get any XP for that. He's going to sit at level 4. Still, finding the kill on the Brood, really nice here. Giving themselves a lot of experience between the Disruptor and the Snapfire, which is going to pay off here because this is a pretty good Disruptor game, right? You're looking at the catch here with the Glimpse. It's really easy to catch all these heroes in kinetic field, just lock them down, and then suddenly you're stuck in a wall, you're stuck in a Stone Gaze, you're stuck in Snapfire Kisses. That's just a world of pain. Snake going to lay back into Dyrachyo. This is level 2 Firefly. Don't think you have the damage to commit, though.
They don't. They run through about half of his mana, but yeah. Got to be aware of the extra bit of regen that is available through stick charges, Otises, and such. The Glimpse back, a little bit more damage on 33. Not that he's in real trouble here.
Celery's had a very good early game here. And it's going to be nice. I mean, you got to remember, you also have the back combos with the Static Storm. It's an old CIS classic. Throw that Pango, Rolling Thunder, and Kisses into it as well. Can really do some damage. Still looking for the Rolling Thunder here on Quinn. They're going to commit and find it.
The kill, a turnaround from Tofu, so once again the supports will be the beneficiaries of these trade-offs. It's 9 even going to be glimpsed back short distance. No real threat, but yeah, Quinn struggles, but the supports get a lot. So they're going to have to prove they can do a lot with these very likely early ultimates they're going to be getting.
The thing is, on one side you have Quinn struggling on a Pango, which is a hero you can recover on and still have high impact in this game, especially when you can shell him up and just go in with the team fight based off his spells. The downside for Gaimin is this is a really good start for 9 on the Queen here. And this is a hero you need a good start on, and one that's very important to Tundra, as he's going to be the majority of their scaling damage outside of Skeeter just going in and being able to right-click people down. So this is pretty much what Tundra want out of the early game. The Batrider finding farm while the Spirit Breaker roams around. 33 is, in fact, their most farmed hero. Even after giving up that first blood trade, he has found a lot just pulling creeps, getting the Firefly to work for him. And the Queen of Pain pulling out far ahead in this Pango matchup that they knew was going to go well. Yep, that is a way faster level 6 timing. And it's only off 1 bottle refill.
Yeah, no bottle refills, but Quinn did get some rotations. They just were cleaning up off of a dead Quinn rather than trying to help him get refills on the bottles. I think this laning phase is so important because it's been a big reason why Tundra was able to establish the momentum in both Game 1 and Game 2. Even if they lost it in Game 1 and weren't able to close up the series 2-0 like it could have been in an alternate universe, it was a way that they were able to establish a pretty big lead.
They're going to combine some cores at an interesting part of the map as they're giving Snaking bottom on the Spirit Breaker. 33 just kind of roaming around doing some jungle stacks. I mean, this is really nice for Snaking. A little awkward for 33. And there's 2 side lanes both open for Tundra right now, so they're just prioritizing the stacking. Ace is even going to invade and try and steal some of it while this skirmishing is going on. This is a big camp to steal. This was triple stacked by AUI.
Yeah, he was already so farmed. He started stealing some stacks. That's massive. Cookie with the Rolling Thunder. A little bit of extra damage there on AUI. He's going to roll back over to try and help out Celery, though. Choosing to protect his supports rather than go for the solo kill. But it may not pay off. The Sonic Wave hits on a 2. Big damage. Gaimin Gladiators very low here, and it looks like Tofu is going to be the first one dead. Maybe Quinn can get the deny. Oh, he doesn't quite get it. It looks like a high ground hit works its way for Tundra, and they snag a killing spree that Tofu had.
And now they're going to steal Gaimin stacks.
Oh, no.
Little revenge here as they commit all 3 cores into the triangle. The Brood connecting here. This is a huge amount of net worth to take away from the Darkseer. Ace wants it. He's going to contest. And it's just a CS battle right here.
They try and get what they can with the swashbuckle. Dyrachyo's now here. Oh no, he didn't blink far enough away. He's gonna go for a TP out, but they've got the vacuum to stop it. 9, big mistake there. He could have just blinked to the right-hand side, probably would have gotten away.
Yeah, I just read that situation wrong.
Yeah.
This is not the hero you want to be giving up these kills on. Though he did get a streak out of the Snapfire here, so that fight ended up being pretty okay for him in the end. And I mean, you steal some of the stacks away from the Medusa here, you're going to slow down Dyrachyo's timings in the end. He's just too beefy.
That was a high ground miss. It would have been a deny, I think, but
we're also already seeing the control that Celery can put out in these fights, right? Like, he survives versus the Brood, he gets the kill on the Glimpse that forces 9 into an awkward position. This Disruptor is pretty much the key to a lot of these early exchanges for Gaimin, and he has the levels to do it.
Speaking of those levels, he may be level 6, another critical level 6. AUI 2000 just got his, so now they've got the Ice Blast, which you said always works really nicely. The more burst damage you have, Quap is probably one of the biggest burst heroes in the game.
It's a nice combo. Like, throwing down an Ice Vortex, you get the increased magic damage. Quap goes in with a dagger. It's pretty much as good as a stun.
Yeah.
You just cold feet stun him up, land an ult. These heroes work really well together. Like, it is a good AA draft, even though they don't have a crazy amount of AoE stuns like a Chrono or something. They have Lasso, they have Charge and a Spirit Breaker ult. It's good enough. The other 2 cores slow. Batrider's also a slow, so these Ice Vortexes are going to be really annoying in the fight. The downside is he doesn't really have amazing targets to AA blast here. You know, like the last game they had that Timbersaw. It really removed a lot of the frontline potential from Gaimin. Here the Dusa is guaranteed going to be able to frontline for you, and you can't just AA blast her into Oblivion.
Siege Wagon will take away the last hit away from Dyrachyo. Charge coming on through. 33 is going to chase after him with the bump back there. Another strike. It's looking like a pretty easy kill here. Stone Gaze, though, will protect him. Thanks to the Magic Wand charges, Dyrachyo is okay for now. Celery's going to try and protect it. Ice Blast coming in. Dyrachyo's low. The Cookie's trying to get him out. They need a little bit more burst. They're not going to get it with the Static Storm. Now it comes back with the Sonic Wave hits alongside the Lasso. They get those kills. Quinn managed to get a pretty good Rolling Thunder, but the charge just continues from Snake King as he collects a second kill, and Quinn cannot seem to do enough to be able to stop this. Snake King, okay, they get that at least a 1-for-2 exchange, though.
Tundra just getting the route on this tier 1 tower collapse. I mean, Dyrachyo was like half mana near that tier 1. That fight is not a fight that Gaimin want to get stuck in as it gets dragged out. And these charges, these Sonic Waves, Static Storm was super nice to stop the initial burst, but you still have that threshold on you. Eventually pops Dyrachyo as they commit everything on him. These are the types of fights where I think Tundra's lineup is going to thrive the whole game. Something that's chaotic, not really set up properly with the big AoE combo between the Darkseer back and all their other AoE, and you're just getting chased down. Suddenly you're napalmed, you're flame broken, there's a charge coming through, there's a Silken Bowl on somebody, there's Ice Vortexes over all of it, amping up all this magic damage.
Yeah.
You are not going to get away from these heroes in that situation, and it's also where the Disruptor is a bit weaker. Like, you're not glimpsing heroes back when you're the one getting chased down. Gaimin really would prefer to be on the offensive here, stunning heroes up and locking them in their control. Pipe on Ace might be the key to aggressively look for that fight, as they're going to push into Tundra's areas, but nobody's home. Both side lanes getting shoved out.
They are super dependent on magic damage, and they will get the glimpse back on AUI 2000.
They'll find a little freebie. AUI was pretty low on mana. Might not mind the trip to base there. It could have resulted in some tier 1 here. And Tundra just farming out the map. Skeeter, by the way, has just been going through these gates with the Brood. Like, very interesting farming pattern. Just gobbling up
both side lanes at once.
Yeah, he's farming both side lanes and both neutral camps on each side of the map. It is recovering him pretty fast here, making him a bit hard to catch as well. And I also like the fact that Snake King is prioritizing his farm. They're kind of splitting it between him and 33. I say that 33 has still found a huge amount with his bots, but the Spear Breaker's pulling ahead of the other supports here, and it is due to the prioritization from Tundra. Snake King's playing this a bit greedy, and he knows he's going to scale pretty damn well in this game. Again, there's no purge for him. The control at the later stages is, in my opinion, going to be a little weak for these charges coming through if he can get really good items. BKB, Ags. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but you get it pretty fast when you're winning fights.
Yeah, certainly. And it would help significantly if their forward position could scale, because Tundra will have a little bit of late game issues, right?
I'm still not 100%. I still don't think Tundra's that outscaled in this game.
Okay.
I really don't. I think Queen of Pain is a monster in the late game. The kiting potential is just so insane. And I think if you look at the damage output from Gaimin, it's kind of all in the Dusa. I mean, the Pango can pick it up sometimes, but not with the start Quinn's had. I feel like their damage sources are going to be limited if they can kite around this Dusa. Fight for the double damage. Quinn did not get it.
Quinn, he rolled past it, and then it spawned. Bit unfortunate there on the timing, so it'll be a double damage for 9, something for him to be able to work with. At bare minimum, would you agree that it's like the Deuce is going to hit a big power spike where she's going to be maybe the strongest hero on the map? Maybe like the later past that, it'll scale against her, but at some point, Dyrachyo's got to be the biggest bad, right?
There will be a point in this game, yeah, especially if they get Aegis on him. Like, you're probably second, third item territory. If he gets it out very fast, you're off some more ancient clearing.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to just run into the Dusa here. That's going to be a question of, can you take the fights around him? I think that's still a possibility for Tundra, right? They have heroes that can skirt around the outsides of the fight in the Brood and the Bat Rider. Maybe you just find the backline. Maybe you find the Darkseer at the start, and then that fight becomes easier, even if this Dusa is a problem. It's a lot about how these initiations go. They're going to get a glimpse on the Bat Rider. That's a nice find. He's just instantly gone.
Okay, big pick off, but Snaking still wants to fight this one. He's going to be cooking. Oh, what? Sonic Wave still managed to hit 2 there, but maybe could have hit a little bit more. The backline's going to be chased down because Skeeter is ready to go for this fight. He's going to catch the Snapfire. Celery's going to try and disappear into the trees, but he doesn't have a TP scroll, so he is either going to
try to hide
lost in the trees, or he's eventually going to be found.
That'll be some nice gold for 9 off that double damage rune. That all looked a little awkward, but ends up working out. As Bat Rider is probably the hero Tundra are happy to have initiated on. He's the tankiest here. It also is probably the least burst damage. So when they go back in with this A ult, it just cleans up the Darkseer really fast. And of course, this is a fight without the Medusa for Gaimin. They just get stuck in a numbers engagement that is not favorable to them as Tundra bring all 5 heroes to this fight. And Snaking knows who he wants. It is his Darkseer. Gets tripped up by the Sonic Wave, and the Threshold procs him out here. AUI claims another for the Frozen Throne.
Back in real time though, Snaking glimpse back to his doom. Celery picks up yet another kill. So low cooldowns for Gaimin Gladiators and Tundra allow them to continue brawling as soon as they're alive again.
Not a lot that both teams have to wait for, especially with this glimpse. I mean, Gaimin are pretty much looking for anything they find. Celery has had a very good game. He'll find another glimpse into Static Storm on a huge target.
Yeah, 9 has been running this game pretty heavily for Tundra. They've been playing through him, but Pickoff will see him out of the game for 30 seconds and 663 gold going over to Gaimin Gladiators.
Celery is just putting this game on his back right now. He had a really good early game, made sure he got the levels, and every fight has been centered around this Glimpse kinetic field. You do not need a point in Thunderstrike, he says. I know what spells are going to win us the engagements. We'll see Snaking on this wave. Once more, Skeeter is just abusing these gates to a maximum.
Yeah, Skeeter just went through the gate. It actually may have been a great time for him to help out Snaking. Snaking does have a charge back up. He might be able to get it off after this. And he's good. After the glimpse, he's able to drift away. This time, Celery cannot hold him.
It's Breaker getting away with murder right now. Wasting a lot of time from the game in skirmish. And as time, the Brood is building towards the BKB, the Quap is building towards the BKB, and the Bat already has a BKB, so it's going to be triple Black King Bar timings here for Tundra. That might be one of their points where they can strike back against how much farm the Medusa is carving out of the map right now. Again, you go in, you use a spell immunity not to focus the Medusa, but kill everybody else. That sounds pretty good. There's a world where I guess you just find a lasso on Dyrachyo and try and all in with like a cold feet proc into all of your ults.
Yeah.
He might die. It gets a little weird if he doesn't. And I think that option is available for Tundra.
Now, this is actually something you've referenced a few times in your casts. I think the last time we talked about was BBT. I do listen to them sometimes.
That's good to know.
Is the fact that the auras versus the triple BKB timer, right? So you just talked about how Tundra is getting all 3 of theirs. We have seen the Darkseers building up these auras. So what is that power spike like? What are we talking about matchup-wise?
It can go both ways. Like, I always say the triple BKB timing, I think when you hit the triple BKB, if you lose that fight, I think you feel way worse in the game than when you get the ores and a fight goes like okay or maybe slightly worse, because then a lot of times you can just run it back, go into a Roche pit, and you still have everything up the fight. These BKBs go on cooldown, they're really long, you feel bad like you didn't get anything out of it for that window where you needed them to maybe hit all at the same time here.
I mean, isn't it sometimes the difference? It's a 1 hero power spike versus 3 heroes, right?
Yes, that
synchronized together. You should be the 5 fingers into a fist sort of scenario, right? This should be one of your hardest hits in the game.
It's also harder, in theory it's harder to execute. I don't know if that's actually true, but I mean, it's like 3 cores that have to go in together with their BKBs and get it done in that interval. Or if you have a pipe, I mean, you just press pipe.
just press the button, bro.
I don't know if that's ever a factor, but I mean, auras are pretty straightforward. It's hard to mess up a pipe, you know? And especially if you're just forcing objectives. Snaking, try and dodge.
Got off the bulldoze, which will help him with some of these disables, and he jukes out the cookie, and he gets the charge away. Oh, the back human response from Ace. Now he's still fast. He's still getting away, and now, the Ice Blast a little bit late, but they do have the lasso onto Quinn. See if they can burst him here, bump it back with the Nether Strike, and Sonic Wave to put him in it down.
Yeah, this is that BKB fight. You're not turning that with a vacuum wall. They'll find 2 off of just some nice dance moves out of Snaking, man. The jukes on this kid. Not even playing his real role here.
It's true. He is playing like a melee 5, that's for certain. He just does not seem to be afraid of danger, but he's got the farm to actually stay alive.
No, he is playing this game tremendously well. He took farm priority. That's what you're supposed to do. He's getting a fast BKB in this game. That's going to add to the other 3 they already have. This is the secret scale, the secret sauce for Tundra's game. This breaker gets big, he's going to be a beast in the late game. Already causing Gaimin some issues trying to lock him down. This is a very annoying hero in these later fights. Snaking is applying the pressure with how much he is finding in this game.
It's going to be good. A little cute there with the ion shell. Using 1 spider to kill all the others.
And he's going Diffusal. Diffusal 3rd for the Broodmother. Very uncommon order choice here. I mean, sure, you're getting the Mana Burn versus the Dusa. I get the idea. I just wonder are you actually getting that many right clicks in a fight with the Brood versus the Dusa? And is that the biggest priority here over something like a Nullifier, or
is he going to go
AC
afterwards?
Any sort of scaling Butterfly could be good this game.
Yeah.
I guess if you go Manta, Diffuse, maybe it'll pay off, you know? I guess if you lasso this Dusa, you pull him into the Brood, in theory you can get a lot of right clicks off. He gets Cold Feet proc. It could prove to be pretty valuable. I also think the Diffusal might be a free item here. I think it's better if you got this Diffusal into a period where you can contest this Roshan. I think you're going to miss out on that if you're Tundra here. Gaming just slide right in. And we'll put an Aegis on this Scotty Medusa as Dyrachyo's hit his timing.
There is a 5-man Ice Blast. Looks very pretty, but Gaimin Gladiators do not seem deterred by that big ult.
Nope.
They do not leave the pit. They commit. They know their timing, I guess.
And it's going to be a Link in 2nd for Ace. So they are really going to try and put some extra net worth probably on this Medusa, or try and save the Pango from the single target stuns that are proving problematic for Quinn. He has his own Lincolns queued up, and they're going to give him the Aegis as well. A lot of priority being built to try and protect this Pango from the lasso, from the charges. Of course, the Lincoln Spheres are always going to be nice on the map versus the Spirit Breaker when he's having a good game. Diffusal done for the Brood. BKB closing in for Snaking. And Tundra just farming.
Skeeter is not going to go Manta. He's going to go and finish off that Echo Saber into the Harpoon. So back to that item, which has been seen all the time for this hero. So still maybe an idea of going for the supports. Got the lasso onto Dyrachyo here, who did not grab the Aegis and has lost all of his mana. Stone Gaze might just get him out, but a bump in from the other side. What a charge from Snaking. Shows himself on the other side. He even says, we've got Dyrachyo. I want more. He hits the Nether Strike onto Ace, and if he gets a bash, he'll stop him, but he doesn't get it in the 2 hits. And a charge was just coming up. That charge is going to be put to use on Celery instead.
This Breaker's out of control, man. He is doing way too much work right now. Got the planar pocket as well.
Force Staff. They maybe have a cookie to get him up somewhere.
I mean, he's going to bash him here. It is inevitable.
Yeah, he gets it.
The control, it's there for the cores in the early game. It is not here now for Gaimin as Dyrachyo gets caught in a very bad part of the map.
Yeah, what was he doing all the way over there with really nobody close by?
He's stealing Ancients. And ends up paying the ultimate price as Snaking finds a gate into a really nice charge angle. This is An astounding game so far for him, and it's put Tundra in a solid position. 5k gold lead, even though the Aegis went to Gaimin, it doesn't feel like it right now. Double Lincoln Sphere is up. This is where you really want to be taking those skirmishes, putting them to use, especially with that Scotty on the Medusa. The prioritization and giving Pango that second life, not working out so far. It's going to prompt a quick smoke by Gaimin as they really need to find some action with it. Scan will hit, so they know someone's farming triangle here. This is a BKB brood. Gaimin can't really just start on him here. It's not that easy. You should see the ion shell on these spiders too.
The spiders are all dying.
That's another question in this game. If you're Gaimin, how do you start fights versus all these BKBs? Like, what do you actually do to lock a hero down?
Yeah, and if you have to think about, like, how do we start that fight, that just means more time for, like, what Snake King's doing.
Exactly. This is just wasted window on your Aegis, and that completes a BKB for the Spirit Breaker. Man, Snake King is he's taking so much off these side lanes while every move from Gaimin isn't yielding anything.
Yep.
Just seems so calm right now. One might say cool, calm and collected. Nonetheless, Gaimin still has its Aegis. They're going to push the base. I think they're getting fed up with what's happening on the map right now and the fact they can't start any of these fights with a true lockdown spell.
And they've got their double Lincoln's time.
Yep, time to hit the high ground. You wish you had the butterfly on Medusa here. That might be too much to ask for. Ags finished for the Queen of Pain. Okay, this is a really big item in these fights. It helps you land a lot of these Shadow Strikes and just build the damage over time, kite these heroes out. That high ground will yield half of a tier 3.
Tundra.
And you're back to dealing with this man.
The waves. Okay, they burned out a bunch of his mana, but he had enough. He pops his wand, pops his BKB, and will be able to charge or TP whenever he wants.
Another minute wasted off of this Aegis, where Gaimin are not getting the fight they want, and there's only a minute left here if Quinn wants to push it.
This is the Siege Wagon is the last wave for this Aegis, pretty much. If they're going to do some serious damage, it's got to be now, at this wave.
Tundra are ready for this, man. They are ready for the high ground defense. Halberd on 33, some extra disarm, Solar Crest for AUI, little extra evasion. They have some tools starting to deal with this Medusa. Of course, you're just trying to buy time for this Aegis to expire. Charge gonna...
Lasso gonna be used on Dyrachyo, trying to get him with the cookie. Sunned up the Bat Rider, Sonic Wave, push them away as Quinn tries to go in with the Rolling Thunder. They have the Static Storm, but BKBs are stronger. Tundra pushing forward and take out Dyrachyo. The carry now gone with Quinn limping back after his Rolling Thunder. Will finally lose his Aegis. They're gonna clean up the rest here. Tofu, he's gonna be the first charge out with that Aghanim Scepter, bouncing over to Ace as well. Nether Strike, a quick bump, and Quinn can't do anything to stop this on his second life. He's trying to put out damage where he can, but Tundra are kiting him around. Break through his Lincolns. He gets another swashbuckle that will not result in a kill. And ultimately, Tundra walk away with killing 4 different heroes because they fought through an Aegis and they didn't lose anything.
And the tips for AUI is they are feeling very confident in this game. The Queen of Pain and the Brood carrying the bulk of the damage, but it's that initiation that really sets it up. We were discussing, is there a point in this game where you can just throw everything on a lassoed Medusa and kill her? I guess the answer is yes, right? There's not a save mechanism here for Gaimin. You have a pipe and some Lincoln Spheres, but those Lincolns are not doing anything once the initiation has occurred, and the Brood and the Queen of Pain are just laying into you. You just get run down, man.
Maybe they should have waited for that butterfly timing. Or maybe if the game, maybe that one death from Dyrachyo, if he doesn't die on that side part of the map, maybe he has the butterfly for that fight. And that would obviously negate a lot of the damage.
Yes, you also ideally want to push higher with an Aegis on the Medusa to prevent the all-in.
Right.
Like, Tundra can't do that twice. They have to commit all the ults and the BKBs, and they barely kill the Medusa. If he has a second life there, you can rally around that if you're Gaimin and turn that type of engagement post-BKB duration. They gave it to the Pango. It did not work out in this period at all. And now, if you are Gaimin, you got to get this next Roshan 100%. You need to secure an Aegis for this Medusa, because you are in trouble in this game. Okay, the Medusa is going to be scary late game, but so are the 4 cores from Tundra right now, as your Pango has fallen behind the Breaker. And honestly, I think this Breaker is doing more in the fight than the Pangolier right now on a Lincoln's Diffusal Blade for Quinn. This is just not a damage output that is scary. They're going to look for AUI.
AUI, he's getting away. No Blink Dagger for Quinn. Couldn't close that distance fast enough.
The map play from Tundra has been incredibly efficient. They are dragging Gaimin around. This game has been very frustrating for them. You can feel it, and that is a Shadow Blade for snaking. Even more initiation power to go along with the aggressive cores, as Tundra are looking for anything right now off of this lasso initiation that there are no saves for. Downside of this support duo, it's great when you're leading and you're pressing your advantage against Tundra. It really suffers when you're just getting jumped. All you can do is sit there and watch.
Very cheeky little ward here. It's giving vision behind this tier 2 area. The Gaimin Gladiators all huddled around. Tundra, are they going to be able to find an initiation off of that ward?
I mean, Skeeter's just trying to break the smoke here.
Yeah. And he's going to spoil that jump from Gaimin Gladiators, potentially with these spiders. Shows himself. Celery, unable to get anything on him.
Under attack.
Tundra just farming, man. Every time you make these moves, somebody at some part of the map is clearing through camps.
And it's usually snaking.
It has usually been snaking. He is just finding so much in this game. It is ridiculous. Brood's going to push in bottom here. Defiant Shells coming out for Tundra as well on 2 of their cores.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, especially with the Broodmother who has the shard. So with those levels, with the high amount of damage you're getting off this universal hero, it means that percentage-based damage you're getting off of the shard is even more amped up.
Even the extra armor here, pretty nice for Sedusa. And they are controlling both side lanes really well. That's what's been causing Gaimin problems. This 5-man single punch ball lineup is really getting abused on the side lanes as they can't catch a hero and they can't push these lanes out as effectively. The clunkiness being taken advantage of right now.
They're struggling to be able to catch any of these heroes, and even if they do manage to get the glimpse off, the BKB is always the answer.
The glimpse is not doing much for you right now, and that's what your majority of your catch was in this game. Tundra looking to control the map for this next Roshan. It has spawned at his bottom. They want to do it. They want to just force it. That type of fight can be scary, where you're clumping in this pit, depending on how the positioning goes. You are giving a decent window for Dyrachyo to just run in with Stone Gaze and force the issue. Refresher for Skeeter here pretty early. Double BKB, double Insatiable. That is going to feel good in this fight, because I don't know who's actually killing this Brood. Like, the magic damage is not doing it anymore. It's got to be Dyrachyo just man-fighting him with this crit in the butterfly. This is a very pivotal window for Gaimin to get a good team fight out of the Medusa right now. It has to be centered around him.
Already popping the Manta to try and get some vision around this pit.
This charge is just seeing everything.
Yep. It has been kept on Dyrachyo throughout this entire time. Snaking very likely to be able to get away without any counter. They send him back where he came from, but it's not very far away.
He's just playing with him in this game. Absolutely toying with them. These double Lincoln Spheres have not controlled them. A third is being built by Tofu. Triple Lincolns is going to be the answer here from Gaimin to deal with the lasso, deal with the charges. Do have ways to pop it, though.
That is so much utility for a Medusa that is struggling to be able to get the 1v5 really going. Level 20 talent will help out here. Smoke's gonna break on Skeeter. Immediate Stone Gaze. Dyrachyo doesn't get anything for that.
This is looking sus for Gaimin right now. Are you going to take this fight without Stone Gaze? That sounds insane.
Quinn. They break through the Lincolns to manage to get the lasso on him, but the guy's blast coming in. He's dead. He does not have the gold for buyback either. Dyrachyo, what can he do with this position here? Well, not much. Skeeter is currently just going through hero after hero. His damage is amped up, out of control. He refreshes another round. Another round. He keeps on going for Dyrachyo, sticks on top of him. Dyrachyo just getting kited around by the couple of heroes that were low, but otherwise it is absolute Tundra domination in this fight. A rampage for Skeeter is a good way to close out this Roshan fight.
This Brood had double everything, and it used it to clear through 5 heroes on the backside. Dyrachyo is just sitting there fighting for his life, but there's nothing to help him, man. The Pango is gone immediately off a very nice lasso from 33. Of course, there's no turnaround because your Stone Gaze got wasted. The biggest bullet you had thrown out of the chamber first, and they just ignored Dyrachyo. This is the kiting that, I mean, what are you doing on Dusa here, right? You're just getting frozen, you're getting flame broke, you're getting halberded up, you can't hit anything, you can't move, and eventually Mother comes for all. And Skeeter will drain all 5 players here. This game is getting out of control right now. And Gaimin, you're looking at your tournament lives flashing before your eyes.
19,000 net worth lead for Tundra, Aegis, and Cheese on their side now. Gaimin Gladiators have had some incredible comebacks before. Like game 1 was a pretty damn good one, but this would surmount any of those, I think.
This would be the greatest comeback I've seen from them all year. Because I don't know what the hell you're scaling right now. Like, you've got a bunch of Lincoln spheres, almost no damage between 4 of your heroes because they're spell immune on everybody. And all of these cores from Tundra are going to be a problem in the late game, man. The Brood and the Bat are doing so much in the fights. The Spirit Breaker has a goddamn Octarine core and level 20 for the extra charge speed. And even the AA is a very terrifying hero in the late game. He has very good talents. These Vortexes are incredibly annoying. It's very hard to deal with Ancient Apparition spells in the late game if you can't get on him first, which what's the backline jump here? Again, what is the initiation for Gaming to get back in this game? It just doesn't exist. You can pretty much just stand behind your Medusa and hope it's enough to win the fight. Double damage for Skeeter on an Aegis. He's missing a refresher. I don't know if he cares.
Gonna
Definitely doesn't care.
Glimmer Cape only gonna prolong that death, I believe, unless somebody can get him a 4-staff down from here. Rolling Thunder, they actually are gonna go for this, perhaps. Bounced around, Snake King actually stopping the ball. Now they get the lasso on him as well. They try and vacuum wall, but the illusions really don't do much here. Quinn, one last swashbuckle to get up to the high ground, but he shatters. Oh, that is too dead with Tundra. A pretty simple pick-off when they already have such a big advantage. Now it's their turn to start taking down some buildings.
The terrifying part is all of that team fight that you just threw in, there's like no cooldowns here for Tundra. They had an Arcane Rune on the Queen, so his ult's up in 40. This lasso is Octarine. It's up again in 7 seconds already. AA Blast in 15. Spear Breaker, Octarine as well. It's just such low cooldowns here for Tundra, man. You can't even just like bait a fight, use a buyback, and get something out of it here. You're gonna have to win it straight up. And spells for days and a hex for Skeeter. That is a double hex because Refresher is back up. All he's missing is a level 25 talent on this Brood. Give him a couple more core kills, he'll be there. This is quite literally Dyrachyo versus the world. Put on a hell of a performance in that game 1. But he is running out of options, running out of time, running out of ideas perhaps. Tundra have full control of this map. Spear Breaker Dota, man.
Farming right in front of your face with that charge.
It is so terrifying when you don't have control for this hero.
Now an Octarine core, so that Aghanim Scepter from the Queen of Pain just got amped up even more. 3-second cooldown for the Shadow Strike.
Level 20 as well, so he has the extra scream damage. These Shadow Strikes hurt. You don't really have any Dispel either. Like, nobody is dispelling these. It's basically just your Lincoln's blocks a couple spells, and then everything Tundra are throwing on you, you just gotta tank it up.
Yeah.
You don't even have a Greaves here on the Darkseer.
Well, there's a little bit more damage. What little you have just got buffed up a bit by that Daedalus pickup on the Medusa. Tundra just have basically one high ground push between them and knocking out the most dominant team of this season in Gaimin Gladiators.
It's looking pretty damn promising here. Aegis still up for a minute.
To get the lasso, pulling back in. Quinn, vacuum trying to stop what he can, but again, there's nothing to get through these BKBs. Once they have a target in mind, they always are able to follow through. Quinn is dead, and Gaimin Gladiators are going to try and fight without him. Now they're going to buy back after the glimpse, but 9 just blinks away. Once again, a lack of control for Gaimin Gladiators allowed Tundra to be able to reset as soon as there's an advantage for Gaimin.
Dude, this dagger is 2-second cooldown. It's not fair. It's actually just not fair, the cooldowns on this Queen of Pain right now. I'm almost surprised Tundra didn't commit to that fight off the Arcane Rune alone.
Sure.
Tower is under attack.
They respect Gaimin Gladiators, though, especially after game 1. So they will give them the chance to hold. After all, they used the buyback on Quinn. Tundra have plenty of more opportunities where that came from.
Yeah, I mean, what stops you just waiting and lassoing this Pango again? Or lassoing whoever has to show instead of him. You're continuing to push in bottom with the Spider here, and that level 25 is coming for Skeeter very quickly. Aegis will time out, regen him back up, but this is a pretty damn good ward bottom as well. that sees the high ground. So 33 has free jumps.
They're going to try and jump first. Rolling Thunder already being used. The blink forward. They caught AUI. That's a pretty decent kill if they can get it. Get to force half over the cliff area, and they manage to get the lasso onto the boulder, so he's not actually finishing off AUI. It's going to be a trade-off there. Dyrachyo now limping back to the base, but look at 9 popping his BKB.
Oh, that
goes straight
charge.
for the heart of Gaimin Gladiators. Into the base he goes with a sonic wave that is just monstrous. Taking down a couple of heroes. Gaimin Gladiators trying to limp back, but now he's been caught without his BKB inside the sanatorium with a vacuum wall. Maybe an opportunity, but Skeeter's still strong, and he still has his own BKB. He's trying to fight through, but his lifesteal isn't doing anything. Not against the mana shield. Tundra have lost 4. Their zealousness, their opportunity slips away as they thought this was the closeout, but Gaimin Gladiators still have a rebuttal.
They went for everybody but the Medusa this time, and it does not work out as double buybacks, particularly the Darkseers, gets a wall second there. And Dyrachyo just gets to sit there and pummel everybody the entire time. Brood Illusion actually did some decent work towards the end. And this is a fight where you finally get on that back line. Taking this AA out at the start means all these ice vortexes that we're adding up in the fights are not there over the long run. You're getting daggered, you get a little bit of a dodge, 9 commits in. This charge is pretty damn good. I mean, this fight looks great for Tundra at this point, but you blow everything to clean up these supports. You don't even get Tofu, and then you're stuck in Darkseer territory on the buyback from Ace.
But he was just about to link away too on 9 before the Static Storm landed. Celery, clutch timing there.
And Skeeter just couldn't find the lifesteal here. No Insatiable to be able to give him enough. Those are big kills to give away a lot of gold. Tundra, like you said, an opportunity to just end the game there. Instead, you are looking at a Medusa who is suddenly highest net worth and asking for a Divine Rapier with the split shot modifier talent and a Daedalus to boot. The damage is going to be coming a little faster than the previous fight if Dyrachyo decides to buy out here, and I think you kind of have to, right? You don't have buybacks on some of your other heroes. This is a risky call. You save Medusa buyback, you buy out for Divine.
Yeah, I mean, where he's playing right now, certainly wouldn't want him to have a Divine Rapier, but I do agree that it is definitely time to buy it. You need something more. They can't be playing off of buybacks forever.
And this is where that original question in this game is once more posed to Tundra. Do you try and all in the Medusa, or do you kill everybody else? Because now you're in a situation where, you know, the Pango Darkseer don't have buys. If you take them out, that sounds really great. Divine Medusa might kill you in the meantime.
Yeah.
It really is going to chunk this Broodmother. The Brood is not that tanky. This build is basically all in on aggression for Skeeter. He doesn't have that much armor. He doesn't have any evasion. There's no survivability here if he can't hit the Medusa, or if the Medusa just has overwhelming damage.
I mean, she has the mana shield. You can't get the lifesteal.
Exactly. So this is a scenario where once this Divine is out, I think you really want to try and all in Dyrachyo. And it's up to Gaimin to try and prevent that with the Lincoln Spheres, with baiting somebody, set a fight up where this Dusa gets to hit people. Even if it's only for 4 or 5 seconds, it might be enough.
Oh man, it's going to be a late Roshan. This gives Dyrachyo the opportunity to maybe buy Divine Rapier and BKB. Buys the BKB now.
Not buying the Divine.
Playing the more conservative route. Playing to hold on to this game instead of playing to turn it around completely. This might be the right call, depending on what happens in this next fight.
He wants BKB for the Roche fight, does not want to lose a Divine before he has the Aegis. You have enough damage without that Divine. Even if you're spell immune, it will get you through some of these disarms and some of the annoying kiting that is happening.
Quinn doesn't want to get caught, pops out of the pit, joins his team for a smoke. Tundra holding the right side of the pit, holding their dire side. Radiant side advantage here is spoiled by the fact that they don't have any buybacks on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. These deaths will be final, perhaps final in the game entirely.
You have 3 on the side of Tundra. The Breaker can get back there pretty fast. He's going to poke some illusions. A lot of this fight comes down to 33's initiation. You have to find a good core target with this lasso, or you have to bait out that Stone Gaze like you did last time, but I don't think Dyrachyo is going to bite as fast as he did then on the bait.
Especially since he has that BKB, right? He knows that he has a little bit more shielding.
You have to hold it here. You have to be patient. You have to play for your opportunity to lock people in with that ult and get the damage out.
Here comes that smoke wraparound. This is a pretty much standard move at this point in time.
Everybody for Tundra in the trees except Snaking, who showed mid, looking for that level 25 talent on the Spirit Breaker. He's very close.
Yeah, what's not so standard about this is how far back they're wrapping around.
The route that Gaimin took let them get to the shop, which means Dyrachyo gets to finish Divine. On top of that BKB, the Lincolns are all getting stacked on him.
They're going over the bridge like this. This is so terrifying. It's going to break. AUI 2000, he's right there in the corner. He gets off the Ice Blast, but the BKB and the Divine Reaper
Skeeter's gone.
That Skeeter's already dead. AUI's going to die as well. And Dyrachyo surges forward past him, looking for more, hunting for anything he can. A Scotty hit brings 33 down to his knees, almost dead. One more hit will kill him.
Trying to TP, no vision.
Oh, he gets away.
The Brood had to buy. The Brood can't get to this fight. They're going top to try and go through the gate here. They cannot contest this Roshan. That
Divine
angle.
Rapier purchase pays off. They've just got themselves a second life on the Medusa.
That route of taking the entry into the fight was so damn good by Gaimin. It got them everything they wanted, and now you have an Aegis to replace this BKB that did its job. The golden god that is Dyrachyo right now with triple Lincoln Sphere on top of him. There's no answer in that fight. Skeeter just... What did he even die to so fast? He just got caught out on the side off a single Rolling Thunder or something. He just evaporates.
As you said, this is not a tanky Broodmother build.
And they got his buyback out of that.
Yeah, didn't get anything in return for that buyback. That is crippling Tundra's advantage. They once had a massive lead, now brought down to just 7K. It's not like they got barracks before.
I mean, they don't care about barracks in this game. They want heroes and they want the throne. This is a chance to claim this game from the jaws of defeat. And suddenly some more items rolling in here. The vacuum onto the Lotus Pool. I mean, Skeeter gets out from it. Oh, these crits.
Oh,
he got
double crits. Oh.
He got a triple crit.
Oh, man.
Oh, I was wondering how Skeeter disappeared that fast, and maybe he was too, but Divine 1500 damage, critical strikes coming out. It's going to take anybody down very quickly here.
Gaimin Gladiators in their move now puts them in a position to have a poke at high ground themselves.
Dire's middle tower
They want to be able to grab somebody here. Snake King perhaps would be a good target if they can get him with a vacuum, and they got him. A scythe pulled away, a glimpse! Celery, no! Snake King tips him. Celery just saves Snake King's life. A bit of a shook move there from Celery. He will return the tip, trying to maintain morale. They got to keep their focus here. They do have a way to win this game.
Gives and the glimpse takes. Snake King will continue shoving all the waves on the map right now.
Triple Lincolns on Dyrachyo.
This is a beast of a hero to try and take down right now. You let him get to the ultra late Medusa. He's pushing it to the limit. There's also an Aghanims flying out for the Disruptor here. A very pivotal item if you get it. Eliminate some of that BKB potential from Tundra. Might not be ready for it in this final fight.
Up those Lincolns go again. They got the first barracks of the game, and they're ready to go for a second lane.
It's giving vision on everybody.
Oh, he's gonna hit so many heroes. No, he got hexed up. He wasn't able to get the full charge on through. Dyrachyo's keeping the rest of the heroes at base. Got the Stone Gaze onto Snake King. Snake King trying to push his way through the BKB. Oh, he gets out some. No, he got glimpsed back, and he does get killed. That's gonna be it down, but Dyrachyo uses BKB Stone Gaze, so they have to be careful with this fight. Look at the whole team playing behind Dyrachyo. He is their guard. He is their savior. He is their damage. He is everything they have. They are all playing through Dyrachyo right now.
There is no way you want to push this without Stone Gaze right now. Also, Dyrachyo's sitting on pretty low mana. Sure, you have Aegis and a second life. At the same time, you kind of have to push it. You have to push it soon. You only have 2 minutes left on this Aegis, and once that expires, this Dusa, a single death just costs you everything. Spirit Breaker does have buyback here. You have an Ags on him as well. Snake King, he has found so much in this game, but can he find the victory as the momentum for Tundra has stalled against the power of the gods here? Dyrachyo, a minute left on the Aegis. He's going to push high ground, start the siege. Everybody else waiting behind.
Backing back into the site. They caught him. 9, 4 staffed away. The glimpse back, but he's going to have to pop his BKB to make sure he stays up. That's a cooldown. 60 seconds. Same amount of time for this Aegis. As Dyrachyo is not sure what to do now. He's so low on mana.
Keep in mind, the one hero without buyback in this game is Skeeter, who used it earlier.
He's the one hero who's really not showing himself too much. Ooh. Yeah, Ace
that is
would
so
love
dangerous.
an opportunity to jump onto Skeeter. Cookie to push him away. Surge to bring Dyrachyo back to this high ground. 40 seconds left now on the Aegis. Are they going to let this expire? They will.
We're going to have to regen back up here. As Dyrachyo is probably looking to eat an Aghanim Scepter would be my guess with this point booster. I mean, you already have one Scotty. You don't need two here. Tundra will get a reprieve. And that'll mean time for this buyback on the Brood to come back online. This game definitely has hit a roadblock for them. After that Aegis period, they're also holding a lot of gold because they need buybacks on everybody. So you're looking at a lot of this net worth just sitting on the Queen of Pain and the Bat. I mean, you have 7,500 gold on 9 right now. That is another big item here that you just don't have for the next fight. And so much of it has gone on to the Spirit Breaker. Snaking's been a beast. He's going to have to pay it back in the engagement. This Breaker can deal a lot of damage in the late game here. He's even going to eat his own Ags. This is about as strong as this hero gets, man. He even has Timeless Relic. It's so much damage coming through on the charges if you can find them. You have to keep in mind there's a lot of Lincoln Spheres limiting who Snaking can charge.
Yeah, what he's playing so far away from his team, if one of those, if he gets its charge broken by a Lincoln's, he can't get to that fight. That could be just as bad as anything else.
Will be an Ags eaten by the Medusa here. On top of that shard, Dyrachyo buying out.
Yeah, very interesting. He continues to buy out. I guess he doesn't have boots of travel. So he's thinking, if I die, I'm not going to be able to buy back and get to that fight to re-pick up my Divine Rapier. I only have one life to work with. And he's going to play for the most of that.
The bold plays continue from perhaps the most aggressive carry in the world right now.
50 minutes in, net worth, kills, mean absolutely nothing in this game. It all comes down to whether or not the Medusa of Gaimin Gladiators, Dyrachyo, whether or not he can push through in basically a 1 versus 5 with his whole team putting their energy behind him against the TI-11 winners. A pickoff would do wonders for them when they don't have this Aegis. It would give them a big advantage, and they've got it. Snaking, slowed down, glimpse back, attempted. BKB goes off, and he's got to charge away. He makes it out.
Remember, that's an Ag Static Storm. So you get caught in this, no BKBs for you. It's a very big deal in this fight when Tundra rely on the spell immunity to be able to take the long engagements. Man, Gaimin are just building to stall these fights out. Double Aeon Disc between the Darkseer and the Pango is going to limit a lot of this initiation power. Like, how do you start on them? They've just built up so many defensive items between the triple Lincoln Sphere, double Aeon Disc, a Strength Blink for Quinn. Very tanky now. There's like Cheese still in his pocket here.
45 seconds to go until potential Roshan. Gaimin Gladiators are already going to set up around the pit. They understand that they need this extra life for Dyrachyo to feel comfortable hitting that high ground. Tundra, meanwhile, have more space to work with. Constantly, Snaking's going to be able to push in the other lanes, which is going to be an annoyance for Gaimin Gladiators. They're able to take a little bit more map as a result, as they are not playing around the Roshan pit. Look at that. Gaimin Gladiators actually moved to the other side through the portal.
This is dire side for Tundra. You got to remember, you're in this area. They have buyback potential on the outpost. They're going to push in.
2.5 minutes. Roshan is going to spawn on the dire side.
The fights
both
are
teams
becoming
don't know it.
Very difficult to start for both teams. So if you get to the Roche pit first and you get that setup, you force the other team into you. You're very happy in that situation.
He's trying to force things from them. He knows they're just sitting around the Roshan pit. He goes for the range barracks.
The thing is, at this point, he's taken so much farm, I don't know if he's scaling anymore. Like, the Spirit Breaker is capped. I don't know if that's ever a thing I've said, but this 4-position Breaker is maxed out, man.
This could be interesting. Aghanim Scepter now done for the Batrider, which means he does have a way to be able to grab the Dusa through the Lincolns if there's a hero close by.
Or maybe just anything else off of a support, right?
Yeah, maybe just try and grab 2 of the supports, as you said. Ignore Dyrachyo, go for everybody else. Smoke
All
goes
the
through.
buybacks are up. Everybody has buy except for the Pangolier, who's missing it by 300 gold here, and we're back to Radiant side, so it's once more favoring Gaimin here as they look for the Roche control. I'm starting to worry about the Brood's damage. Early on in this game, it was significant. At this point, Skeeter has not picked up an item in like 10 minutes. He's just sitting on the same inventory he had. He does have that level 25 BAT talent. That helps. I think he's going to have to play a bit more patient. Wait for the fight to develop off the Breaker, Bat, and Quap, and come in a little later when this Insatiable has worked its way up.
They got the word on the high ground. 33, looking for something, not finding it. Dyrachyo's going to be able to get a jump forward. They're getting the stuns onto 9. 9 trying to blink away. He's able to make it out, but Skeeter wasn't. He's dead for 2 minutes, and so is the Bat Rider. Charge through. Snake King looking to get out, will not be caught on his exit. Gaimin Gladiators happy to win that fight, yes, but they will probably not do much with it as they're going to wait for Roshan, which still is not going to spawn for 45 seconds. A fight for something that is going to get delayed significantly, and Snake King will take full advantage of that.
Static Storm caused him huge problems. Skeeter just gets nothing off. I think 9 is lucky to get out of there. I don't even know how he got out of that field. Must have been right on the edge.
Double damage.
Snaking, ratting with the Breaker is about the best Tundra have gotten in the last few minutes here. They will not use their buybacks, however. And again, 33 just can't lasso anything, man.
He's looking and looking.
Oh, the Pango roll knocked him out.
Yeah, I think it got him out of that kinetic field.
That's
He was
very
able to
fortunate.
get through that area.
33 needs a Lincoln's break or something. Like, he has Halberd, I guess. It's just too many Lincoln spheres, too many Aeon discs. You can't get through them all.
Snake King
Doesn't
doesn't have
last
BKB. He's going to be caught here. Glimpsed away to the side. Once again, Snake King's able to get out with an assist from Celery, who is struggling to be able to get the correct positioning on these heroes that are moving around so quickly. But Roshan has now spawned, and Gaimin Gladiators will go back to it. This will give the time for Tundra to hold on to their buybacks, as you said.
Aegis for Dyrachyo is going to feel very comfortable. You can replace the BKB, have 2 lives with the Divine, and it's going to be a Refresher Shard for somebody, which, I mean, there's some options here. I think you're giving it to Ace for double Hex, double Vac Wall. Yeah. Double Static Storm's not too shabby either, but it'll be a second cheese as well. Quinn's going to pick up the Refresher Shard. I think you definitely want to end it up with it on Ace here. Let's see what they decide to do, as they're looking bottom through the gate, sending everybody through. Time to play aggressive if you're gaming during this Aegis period.
Oh, Ace was so close to being able to hit up Link Scythe onto 9. Half a second too late. And this is something they're going to have to contend with. Tundra don't want to fight them in a head-on fight. So they're going to be ratting this map out. And they've got great heroes to do it. Gaimin Gladiators, are they going to be able to get a high ground push that isn't a trade-off? I'm not sure how they get enough map control to be able to do that. I think they're going to have to trade something at some point.
Or just man up, man. I don't know. It feels like at a certain point you kind of just have to run down a lane with this Dusa and hope it's enough. Right, Tundra, this is an incredibly patient team. Maybe the most patient team in the world right now. They have no problem waiting out Aegis periods, no problem waiting for some 80, 90-minute timing that they fabricated in all of their heads that will somehow work. If you're gaming, the onus is on you to end this game right now with the way the Breaker is controlling the lanes.
He breaks the smoke, getting away with his BKB in use. Gaimin Gladiators do have a wave that's approaching the high ground, so they have a way to be able to breach.
And Tundra are not back. They are all out on the map right now, so this will be some free buildings for Dyrachyo.
Nobody's dealing with the waves that are coming in the mid lane. That was Snake King's job, but he got chased away from it. So all of these heroes onto the map aren't going to stop a Mega's push from Gaimin Gladiators here.
I mean, what is
They still have a tier 2 up at top.
A Spear Breaker is not matching a Divine Medusa here. Yeah, that tier 2 saving a lot of time. Back door is also going to kick in as all the waves were cut. I think you can push through this if you're gaming. It will slow it down a bit.
As he gets another range barracks, he's going to get a melee barracks, unless somebody comes back now. Backdoor protection is somehow gone, though many of the creeps are dead right now.
They got a TP out of Tofu to try and save one of their barracks, so they have a 5-on-4 from Tundra if they want it.
Dyrachyo could get caught here. They're putting all their Lincolns on him, surging him away. 33 couldn't get the catch. Not through all those Lincolns. Snake King charging out.
That Snake will eventually hit him here.
Illusion.
He stops to grab an illusion rune. Decent pickup that he certainly doesn't want to be giving away to the Medusa. He wants to keep this pressure on the top lane if possible.
This is an absurd amount of pressure a Spirit Breaker is creating on your buildings.
And this melee barracks is going to die.
Yeah, he will get it here. I don't think Gaimin want to come back. They would just want to trade for the Megas. They are going to push in top wave. Mid is eliminated the back door here. So once again, Tundra, you have to defend this or you're giving up Megas. You cannot trade.
They're not
no
going to be
trade
allowed
available.
to this Medusa. So Dyrachyo, this push. Tundra will have to respond. How are they going to respond?
Oh,
One of these buildings is almost dead.
Charge
Charge in from behind with the last 1 and 2. They're going for the Pango right now. They both got pushed up to the high ground. Dyrachyo pops the Stone Gate, snaking, trying to slow down that damage. Gets up his lead because he has a buyback. Meanwhile, Tofu, he's slowed down. So the
Static
supports
Storm
are
gone.
being guarded by Dyrachyo, but Nine.
Stone Gate's gone.
On the side with the BKB. He doesn't get anything. Has to blink away. They do manage to finish off Tofu thanks to snaking, who once again, they are controlling up the Dyrachyo Medusa. They put the disarm on it. They put the cold feet on him. Skittering away to the side. Oh, he got frozen up. He has to pop his refresher, pop his BKB to stay alive, but how does he get the HP back against the Medusa, who stands in their way? Snaking charges forward once again, but a charge back from Quinn with the Rolling Thunder. Snaking pops the refresher, pops BKB, a double lasso, controlling up these heroes. Yes, Dyrachyo's losing some of his mana. They're going for ace right now. Snaking's trying to get away, but the kisses are raining in. Snaking trying to get back. The shots aren't enough. They kill the Bat Rider, who has a buyback. The Megas are now going to be in pain. Dyrachyo starts backing himself away, trying to pull back, but they pull him back in. But Dyrachyo doesn't care. He fights against Skeeter, but maybe he does care. He's losing his life. A disarm comes out, and that's enough. But Ace, he's low. He needs life steal. He's disarmed. He's healing up. He's healing up. He's trying to expensive, keeping his life alive. Dyrachyo against Snaking. The Spirit Breaker trying to do everything he can. A charge going out. They don't have their Broodmother. They're lacking in damage. Who's going to put it out? Tundra. Who's going to keep themselves alive? He dies. Snaking's dead. 2 dead with no buyback on the side of Tundra. 33 is going to be next up. He's stuck inside the static storm. He can't get out. Oh, no, Tundra.
He stands tall through it all. A king will fall. And perhaps his throne here, as you have a Queen of Pain and an Ancient Apparition. Nine, you better make some magic happen right now.
He's fighting for it. He's fighting just to kill a simple 5 position right now. But it's not enough. A glimpse pulls him back. Dyrachyo will knock him down. Another buyback.
There is not enough damage and there are not enough lives in the tank to deal with this Medusa right now, as Dyrachyo refuses to be eliminated from this tournament, refuses to lose a game 3, and will clinch a game that I thought was impossible to win. This team just will not be eliminated.
Believe in him. After all, it is a team game. Yeah, later on in the game, I mean, during those high ground sieges from Gaimin Gladiators,